At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
At Bulldog Burger, we take the burger game to the next level, like the Freshman 15, stacked with panko fried mozzarella. Unleash your appetite.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, were you one of the lucky ones? That's the golden question as we head into our Tuesday evening, because that rain this morning, a thing of the past. We're in a much drier pattern, and that'll continue to reign supreme over the next several days. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and we have an action-packed show to get into. And it's a dry forecast, so that kind of tells you that the story isn't exactly how it seems outside. That drier forecast does last and does persist for the next several days, but that's just for now. That does start to shift heading into this weekend. And speaking of, we will be talking about what to expect this weekend with those rain chances and just how much we could see here in North Mississippi. We also are going to be taking that latest look at the tropics. We do have Melissa developing out there in the Caribbean right now. Potential to develop there in the Gulf if it were to continue to take one of the tracks that models are suggesting. Only one though, so that shows you that it's kind of the anomaly. I'm telling you too much. We're just getting the show started. We'll talk more detail here in just a moment. We also do have our Wonders of Australia. If I had a fourth headline, I would have put that on there, but Matt giving us another look in from Australia on his Wonders of Australia journey. So a big thank you to him for taking us along with them. It's been a great time. Let's go ahead and get into the first 12. And as you can see right here, 61 degrees around 7. It is going to be a crisp evening across North Mississippi. Reason why? What do we not see in the sky? Rain chances or cloud cover. So that blanket that has been keeping us a little bit warm the past 24 hours is not going to be in place. So we are going to be cooling off nicely towards our Wednesday morning. We see the 40s entering the picture by 1 a.m. and really cooling off for our morning commute. We're talking low 40s for some spots here in North Mississippi. Let's go ahead and get a live look outside here in the Room to Room Weather Center. Aberdeen showing us great conditions with 68 degrees. That dew point though, 54. While that's typically indicative of a dry forecast, comparatively speaking to our neighbors up north and west, it's a little bit on the more saturated side. I mean, take a look at some of the dew points over there towards Pontotoc and Panola and all those counties. I mean, speaking of Panola County, Batesville showcasing 37-degree dew points. So that's what I mean. A little bit more saturated in Monroe County. Monroe, you got a little bit of work to do to reach the standard that Panola has set. 70 degrees right now, but with 37-degree dew points, I mean, my word, is that a dry forecast. As we jump out there towards Clay County and West Point, 69 degrees, dew point still around 58. That's because, of course, that front has just since cleared the area, so it hasn't had the full day to dry things off. But look off there in the distance. I mean, that is a great sunset, one that just continue to marvel at every time we have the 6 o'clock show, because it is prime time for sunsets. I wanted to say sunshine, but sunsets. Shine just would have rhymed right there. Oh well. Can't win them all, but still a great look outside. So if you want to get on our live stream, accessible 24/7, and you can get on there and look all through the North Mississippi Storm Chaser cameras and see all the sunsets across North Mississippi. Trust me, it's a view that only folks in North Mississippi know the true beauty of. Mississippi Live Weather Radar showcasing absolutely nothing. And that's how it's been for the latter part of our Tuesday as those showers have since cleared out. We can see a little bit of that moisture lingering there towards Quitman, Linden, and Marion. That's that cold front that's continued to cycle south and east away from us here in North Mississippi, leaving us with those dry conditions. And looking at rainfall totals, I mean, you can kind of get the idea of where the rainfall took place. We said south of Highway 82. Here's your proof. And models doing a great job verifying that, just populating in a few of these totals. You can see anywhere from an inch plus in some spots, especially right along Highway 82. But up north, not as much. I mean, looking right along Highway 6, we're getting trace amounts of rainfall, maybe 0.2 of an inch of rainfall. I know my house did not see a drop, and that was an unfortunate circumstance, but water this afternoon, got the job done. It's all good. We're surviving. But this was definitely a forecast that is helping with the drought monitor, at least making a dent on the drought monitor, as we did get that inch of rainfall today. Satellite imagery showcasing, again, absolutely nothing. How many times do I have to say it? It's just that dry, calm, and clear pattern, and that'll continue to be our forecast into those overnight hours. Expanding things out right here, you can get a good look at some of our surface analysis, and the big surface analysis that we're watching is that high pressure system and our cold front. As we mentioned at the 5 o'clock hour, you do have have these southerly winds out ahead of the front, and that's what's allowing some of those showers to take place right along that lifting mechanism that is that cold front. But as we get out there towards the west, we can see some of this clockwise movement right here on the east side of the high pressure, and with that is getting some of those northerly or northwesterly winds here to North Mississippi and really giving us a dry forecast. I mean, we're getting the same air as Kansas, Missouri, Iowa. It's a forecast you can't complain about. Great forecast here in North Mississippi heading into our Tuesday night. Let's go ahead and walk through Futurecast for your Tuesday night, and you can see that front not going to affect us whatsoever, continuing south and east away from us, leaving us with that drier pattern, those breezy conditions out of the northwest, cycling in some of that continental air. High pressure keeping things dry as well, so that's really the extent of what to expect overnight and for the start of our Wednesday. I mean, going to be a cool start, but at least it's clear across the region. 9 a.m. still sticking with those clear conditions, as will be the case for the vast majority, if not all, of our Wednesday. The next 24 really showcasing that with those dry conditions to start. 44 degrees though, cool start to the day, but by the afternoon 73 with plenty of sunshine, and into the evening hours some cloud cover trying to move in beyond that 9 o'clock hour, but not going to do anything on those cool temperatures. We'll be back pretty chilly for the start of our Thursday. So plenty to look forward to, and we're just getting started with our 6 o'clock broadcast. What we'll be discussing here in the next 60 is going to be a look at those rain chances, our weekend outlook in total, but also a latest look at the tropics as things are picking up just a bit more and a little bit closer to home as well. So we'll look at all the latest details on that forecast, what you guys can expect, and just how much rainfall we're talking this weekend coming up here in the Room to Room Weather Center for Mississippi Live Weather at 6 in the next 60.
This roof's getting installed with our premium roofing system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Welcome back into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I want to set the record straight. I told you guys showers yesterday, and wouldn't be surprised to hear a few rumbles of thunder as these showers and somewhat of storms rolled on through. But I said no severe weather was expected, and that's what we got. That doesn't mean damage can't occur. And that's exactly what we had off of Highway 49 eastbound there in Greenwood. You can see this photo submitted by Tim. Lightning struck yet another tree falling victim to lightning here in North Mississippi, and had quite a blaze right at the core of that tree, unfortunately killing the tree in the process. I'm probably going to have to tear that down. But yeah, it was right off the roadways, just one of the, I think, 8 lightning strikes they got in Greenwood today, as that was one of the more action-packed areas. But still, one of those lightning strikes reaching all the way to the ground could impact some power, could impact trees, could impact any of those elevated objects. And so, yeah, while severe weather did not happen, damage did occur over there in the Greenwood area. But glad that everyone is safe. No injuries occurred with this strike, and that is the greatest thing about this the forecast we had. Yes, we brought much needed rainfall, and at least that damage not going to be overly impactful for a lot of folks. Starkville, as you can see right here, a beautiful sunset. A little bit of a look at that cloud cover off there in the distance. That's that front that's continuing to extend further towards the south and east, not impacting our forecast anymore, and that's leaving us with that dry forecast from here on out. But you do notice the locations where it just cleared out, that dew point just slightly higher. 63-degree dew points right now, and 68 degrees feels like value. So it is going to be slightly warmer and slightly more of a moist environment compared to folks in Panola County or Lafayette County or Pontotoc County. Just a complete flip of the script. And Corinth getting a great look as well with 68 degrees, 41-degree dew points, and that, of course, continuing to dwindle into those evening hours. So buckle up for a chilly evening overall. We can see what happened earlier today, and it was that rainfall total that we talked about earlier, that stripe across Highway 82 and for folks further towards the south. Highlighting in a few of those totals, 2.2 inches in eastern Webster County. And that is also a great segue into our game of the week. Right now we have a heated battle between East Webster, Bruce, and Vardaman. Those three games, and I forget all of their opponents, but that's the three that will play host, and that's going to be all in this general area that got rainfall earlier today. So kind of ironic, I'm looking at it now. But go ahead and submit your vote for which of those games you want us to be our game of the week. Several big events, whether it be senior night or two very good teams right now that are trying to compete for that top spot. I mean, just great selections, and we're excited to be wherever you guys decide for us to be. And that, of course, is decided by 10 p.m. this evening. We'll have the latest look at our Game of the Week results, and that is all decided by you at home. So go ahead and submit those. But anyway, back to the forecast. You can see those rainy conditions down there in Webster County, the highest total so far. But that's really what we got earlier today, and that was it. Beyond that, our Mississippi Live Weather Radar has been calm. It's been clear. It's been a great forecast getting any of those afternoon activities done. So if any of those afternoon activities consist of, walking down a trail, going hiking, or taking the dog on a walk, well, it's going to be a clear forecast, just a cool forecast at that. So the earlier you go, the warmer it'll be. 57 there by 8 p.m., 54 by 9, and 52 there by 10 with clear conditions all night long. So going to be a great sight, and I hope that you do get out there to enjoy it. Probably not now, though, as that sun is since setting, but into tomorrow, another great outlook, and you guys need to take advantage. So let's go ahead and get into that futurecast. And of course, highlighting those dry conditions across the region, but a large part of that is driven by high pressure. If we expand things out, you can kind of get a good visual on where that high pressure is centered and how that's going to interact with us here in North Mississippi. So there's your high over there towards Dallas, Texas, and that inching closer to us as we head into those overnight hours. So by Wednesday, 2 a.m., that front is pushing out of the region, high pressure is pushing in. Still, while it's towards our west, giving us that drier air from the northwest, and that's that continental air that we often talk about. That's that drier and cooler air as a result. So low temperatures, being that we're gusting in some cooler conditions, getting cooler in the process with 41 in Amory, 43 Tupelo, 44 towards Oxford, and 45 around Greenwood. If we extend that forecast into our school day forecast, of course, it's going to be a cool start to the day with 43 degrees, but by lunchtime, we're 64, and that last spell, 72 degrees. So a warmer afternoon, should I say seasonable afternoon, but a cool start to the day nonetheless. So go ahead and have those long sleeves for the start of the day. I'll be honest, 72 degrees by that final bell might mean we get away with the long sleeves all day long. It depends on who you are. And I know that some places have not turned on the heat just yet. So if you're going from a cold environment into an air-conditioned environment, you'll probably be glad you brought the long sleeves. So it depends on where you work. I know my wife, she just got home this afternoon. She said, "Gabe, it's toasty." And she was exactly right about that because we left the heat on. We'd never turned the air back on. So there you go, saving power this afternoon, getting that bill a little bit cheaper. Futurecast into your Wednesday morning, of course, keeping with those dry conditions as high pressure remains a dominant factor in our forecast. You can see right here towards our south and west, but still while it's in the west, giving us a cooler forecast, but that does start to shift heading into our Wednesday night, but primarily towards our Thursday. You can see it inching closer and closer, going right through Shreveport and Monroe, Louisiana by lunchtime. And as it moves east, moisture back towards its left, or should I say its west, that's going to start to become more of a prominent feature in our area, pushing into Thursday, but really by our Friday. So Wednesday, all day long, seeing those clear conditions in place, high pressure, trying to shift those winds just a bit. But really what it'll do for our Wednesday is just calm our winds down. Not going to be as breezy of conditions there by our Wednesday afternoon. And if we bring it back to our home view, you can see exactly that. I mean, maybe a few 5-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible, but that's really the extent. So a much calmer Wednesday afternoon, and that's going to keep our forecast just beautiful altogether. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. High temperatures, 75 Bruce, 73 Louisville, and 73 around Holly Springs. If we keep that forecast going into our Wednesday night, of course, that high pressure, you can see it right underneath North Mississippi, cycling on out and moving out towards our east. And that's where those winds start to shift just a bit, pushing more from the south to that northern direction. So there you go. So I'm trying to get a good visual on this here real quick. I might need to go one more scan. So this is a look at your Thursday morning. You can see those winds starting to come out of the south, going up there towards the north, and that's getting some of the moisture back in the forecast. So those clear skies don't stick around forever, and what this is doing is upping our dew points for the potential of producing some cloud cover for Thursday and Friday, and then rain chances for our weekend. So really getting those easterly winds as of this point as it's wrapping around that high. So by noontime still dry, but you can definitely notice a little bit of a shift in that pattern. And for our Thursday evening, keeping with those dry conditions and still mostly clear skies, but there's that cloud cover inching closer and closer, setting the scene for a much more saturated, possibly Friday evening, but primarily there towards the weekend. So if we keep that going into your Friday night, of course, going to be dry for the most part, or Thursday night, should I say, dry for the most part, but making way for a little bit more of a unstable environment for our weekend. High temperatures for your Thursday afternoon, a little bit warmer as well with those winds shifting from the south. So we're getting more of that Gulf moisture here in North Mississippi, 79 in Bruce, 77 Amory and Tupelo, 74 Corinth, 76 Senatobia, and we are seeing 80 towards Greenwood, so not completely out of the woods just yet. But forecasted rainfall, this is a big thing we've been talking about. Let's go ahead and take it day by day. This is a look at your forecasted rainfall for tomorrow. Nothing. And this is a look at our forecasted rainfall for Thursday. Nothing. So that's really the name of the game this week, is just that drier pattern. But let's go ahead and jump forward into our weekend forecast. And there's a look at a few of our totals with 1 all the way to 1.5 inches showing up in a large part of North Mississippi. So don't be fooled by rain chances. While they're only 30 to 40%, it's because it's that overnight threat that's going to produce those showers and possibly storms. So that's why those rain chances are much higher than those percentages might seem to folks at home. And again, this is going to be a Saturday night into Sunday morning threat as of right now. No severe weather, might I add, but this is going to be a saturated forecast, making way for more of a dreary Sunday for at least the start of our Sunday. So there's a look at some of those conditions. Again, this front pushing a little bit later into our Saturday night and going to affect more towards our Sunday morning. So that's why rain chances are just a bit higher for Sunday, but that front will move through the area and just bring us some much needed rainfall on top of all of that. So enjoy the dry conditions, to say the least. 43, 7 a.m., 68 there by noon, and 71 by 5 p.m. Plenty of sunshine all day long. So with rain on the horizon, we need to appreciate what we have right now, and that is a much drier and calmer pattern. Thursday keeps with those drier conditions, but there's cloud cover for the latter part of our Thursday. And then Friday, partly cloudy conditions, the potential for maybe a brief shower possible, but I'm not really sold on that, especially with how dry things have been. But by Saturday evening into our Sunday morning, there's a look at that 20% into 40% chance. If that front was a little bit sooner, this would of course be a lot higher, but this is because it's an overnight threat that we're not getting above that 40% threshold. Monday, then into Tuesday, we're dealing with another frontal boundary that'll really push into the area. This, a much stronger front, because it's going to drop those temperatures into midweek next week, back into more of the temperatures we expect to feel this time of year, not the 50s like we'll have by the weekend. So plenty of things to look forward to, plenty of things that we need here in North Mississippi, but you know what I need right now is a Australia update. Our Wonders of Australia update. Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon showing us what he's seeing and bringing a special guest to meet us here in North Mississippi.
Well, hey there, Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon joining you from the Australia Zoo. Yeah, that is a hopping kangaroo behind me there. We're here north of the Brisbane area. Of course, we've also have bush turkeys and then all these kangaroos just trying to lounge in the fact that it is a hot day and the shade is pretty nice. One of the things I found interesting is the kangaroos themselves are actually fairly docile. Hi. Good boy. Yes, your girl. Didn't get a good look at that. But the Australia Zoo, famous for the late Steve Irwin, probably better known as the crocodile hunter. They have a crocoseum here where we watched a crocodile display a little bit earlier on, talking, of course, about, you know, conservation and the fact that, you know, crocodiles are, I learned this today, very slow on land, very fast in water, and they don't disturb the water at all, which is scary in its own right. But, you know, obviously, like a lot of animals, they need to be respected. And so we have spent a good chunk of the day here at this, what is probably more sanctuary than zoo. Got to touch a koala bear and take plenty of pictures with that. And of course, check out a lot of the other exotic Australian wildlife. I do appreciate the good folks at MLM Clothiers for sponsoring our Wonders of Australia tour. But from the Australia Zoo, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon for Mississippi Live Weather.
So much fun getting to see those recorded updates there from Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon, but he actually told me that he is live in Australia right now, so what better video than a live video? Matt, what are you seeing? I see an ocean behind you, and you're making me very jealous right now.
Well, this is the Coral Sea behind me, and I got to apologize. We've got to fix that audio issue, buddy. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what it is on that. Anyway, after that video plays. But yeah, I'm here at Mululaba Beach. So, with the time change, we've been sitting back this videos and it's been time delayed a little bit, but we're actually live here at the moment. I don't have my gizmo out, so it's not going to be as well stabilized as typically is the case. But yeah, you can see the water here. Let's see if it does this like fake blurry effect. Yeah, it still looks kind of blurry there. But the cool thing about the beach here at Mululaba that I'm just not used to is the rocks, right? First off, it's a little cold, but it's not frigid, all things considered, which is kind of shocking to me, I guess. But there's just a lot of rocks along here. It's volcanic rock, actually. There's some. I was fortunate enough. We went to Hawaii on my honeymoon, and so there's a type of, I guess, volcanic rock that you see there. But the volcanic rock I'm getting here, it reminds me of one that my mom had in kind of this rock garden in front of our house. I gotta show it to you. And this is just gonna be me nerding out for a second, so I apologize. So let me kind of flip it around here. But you see how it's all like sectioned off? Like it's one of those things like I had forgotten from when I was a kid that volcanic rock could look like that when I guess it had been at least somewhat eroded away by water here. So anyway, not exactly a beach that we're going to be going out and swimming because of the way it's beaten onto the rocks there. But yeah, just kind of a beautiful day here on what they call the Sunshine Coast. Yeah, I know. It's cloudy. It was sunny yesterday when we got in, and just an absolute kind of beautiful sort of touristy area. I got to admit, we've had some great food while I was here. And my wife's going to make fun of me for talking about this, but I had these tiramisu waffles this morning that were just, I'm not going to say life-changing, but they were spectacular. Easily the best meal we've had since we've been here, and I've had some really great meals. Been very fortunate with that. Again, I appreciate the good folks at MLM for sponsoring this Wonders of Australia tour. And Gabe, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around the fact that we are, what? It is Wednesday here? I think it's Wednesday here because it's Tuesday there, right?
Yes, Tuesday at 6. Oh, was my mic on?
Okay, yeah. So your mic's on. Your mic's on. It was one of those, like, I opened up my phone. I was like, I was just about to send a video that we could use later from this location. I was like, wait, he's in the 6 o'clock show right now. The time change is still definitely mind-boggling, and we'll see if I'm even able to stay awake when we get back. But we have today here, and we're going to be going and doing some kind of bowling that they say is close to bocce. I couldn't tell you what bocce is, but they say it's a blast. So I'm looking forward to that. We're also eating at this Secrets of the Something or Other place. It's supposed to be one of the best meals we have the entire time we're here. So we'll see if it can beat breakfast, which has been good. And I'm just blown away because I have to be honest. When we kind of booked this, I knew some of the highlights, like we're going to Sydney, we'll see the Opera House, we're going to see the rainforest, and then ... Like I didn't know all the rest of it because I prefer to kind of take it as it comes. So you're not, you don't have any expectation gap when you have no expectation. You just know you're going to see a bunch of cool stuff. But just blown away by the views here and the different, types of topography. And I'm a volcano nerd, so ancient volcanoes over there. It has been truly, they call it Wonders of Australia, but there have been no shortage of wonders where we're just like, man, this is the next best thing. So just very much enjoyed this and appreciate the good folks at MLM Clothiers for sponsoring this amazing adventure, I suppose. As I check the time here, our bus departs for the next thing here in about 20 minutes. I'm going to probably start walking my way back off the beach. We're trying to find some shells down here for the kids.
Oh, my word.
Because let's be clear, as many
us.
T-shirts as we can get them, shells from halfway across the world. Exactly, Gabe. They're fun. I mean, we haven't been able to find any big ones, but it's been good time nonetheless. I know you have other things to talk about, but well, no. I mean, now in Hawaii, the thing about the volcanic rock was they used to say that it was cursed. Cursed might not be the word, but ultimately, like if you brought it back on your honeymoon, then you'd have bad luck. So we didn't bring any back when we went on our honeymoon because obviously last thing you need on your just bad luck. But I'll probably bring back a couple of, I mean, not the big boulders you see come out of the water there, but
you're going to throw your back out getting that.
Well, I mean, the overages on paying for the paying for the shipping back definitely probably wouldn't be worth it.
It would be cool, but we don't want the curses here, right?
Yeah. That's the last thing we need at this point here. So everything good back there?
Yeah, I mean, we just dealt with some showers this morning. And did you see, I don't know if you saw at the top of the show, that we got a picture submitted from Greenwood where another tree fell victim to lightning here in North Mississippi.
Really? Now that was it? I mean, I guess it was kind of split and everything like that. Was it this morning?
It was this
Or
morning
today when we had the showers?
One of the 8 strikes in Greenwood, and one of them just struck a tall tree. Yeah, and it was a full blaze going. That's the thing about these, like striking a tree. One of our trees were struck in our backyard, and I don't think it ever caught fire. It was just, the split down the middle. But
like this week or when you were growing up?
No, not this week, but this summer I was washing the dishes and I just felt like the whole house shake, and I was like, something just got struck by lightning. Sure enough, it was a tree in the backyard. So
I did. Hold on. Why have we not talked about this?
I think I shared it. I think it was before Mississippi Live Weather got up and going. So I think it was a little bit of a ways away. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, my brain was definitely someplace else at that point in time. You're going to have to show me that when I get back. I'm interested to see that. I don't remember that. I feel guilty about that.
Well, I still have the wood where it exploded. It was our next door neighbor, probably about 100 feet away. The wood exploded and got all the way to our house. And it was all over the driveway. And so some of it's like kept because I feel like it has superpowers.
Are you gonna carve it into a bat that says Wonder Boy?
Not a bad idea. I mean, I might reach the MLB.
You know the reference, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. No. Yeah, you mentioned MLB. That was The Natural, right?
Yeah.
Where in the movie he takes. Anyway, we're now down full on rabbit holes at this point here. So
it's been too long, Matt. We have so much to catch up on.
Oh my gosh. I don't think we were joking that, the kids will make it through about 15 minutes of pictures and we'll have about 17 hours more to go. I'm glad I got the new iPhone before we came here and I doubled my capacity because God knows how much I've taken while we're here.
Well, we got to post the selfies though, because I feel like folks have missed out on those selfie times that you always posted during the week, whether it was at football games or events. So you got to get those up and going from the Australia selfie time.
Oh, I have no shortage of selfies. And my selfies today were with my breakfast so far because it's only, believe it or not, 9:27 a.m. here, I guess, in the future. And that joke doesn't get old.
Yeah, so we got to ask you what the forecast is, since you know it.
Well, I mean, I think Gabe Maynard has been very on top of that. So you and Maggie all the entire time. And I appreciate, in front of you and the entire world, I got to say, I appreciate all the hard work you guys have been putting in. Just keeping this up and going, while we're over here, getting to have the trip of a lifetime.
Well, it's a good team and, we got to take care of each other and everyone has each other's back and everyone has the same goal of keeping North Mississippi safe. And so it's easy to keep the ship afloat when that's all, you have the same mindset through it all. So we're ready for you to come back, though.
Nonetheless, in front of a flood of God and all creation, just thank you, Gabe. Appreciate y'all.
Well, of course. And on behalf of Caleb, Maggie, and me, thank you for taking us on and letting this all be possible. And we are excited for you to come back into town and get the face of the organization back in action, right?
Well, I'm just excited. I'm looking forward to, this has been fun. Man, it feels like it's been a long time. So I'm ready to get back and talk about the weather a little bit more here.
Well, it has been a little bit of a long time, Matt. I mean, it's been over a week now. I feel like it was the longest time before then. I guess you did go down to the beach that one time, but still, whenever you leave, it's just like everything becomes amplified of, oh, this slight issue happened, where's Matt? And of course, it's middle of the night for you, so.
Well, but that's okay. We make it work. So anyway, Restream working again?
It's up and running. So folks are in the chat talking. I've been able to look at it so far, but I'm sure they're saying some good things. So you need to go in there and let them know and answer some of the questions they have. And guys, if you are in the chat, put those questions down below, and the expert Australian.
Go ask them real quick. Let
me see if they have any.
Back over here to the room.
Well, a lot of them are just, someone said good morning to you, Matt, which I feel is very ironic at 6 p.m. in the evening.
Isn't it funny?
Oh, someone said he should do the Australian weather there. So what's the forecast? Give us a little 20-second.
Good day, mate. From Mululaba Beach. Got some clouds around here. Temperature is in, I don't know, I think the low 20s Celsius, which I gotta admit, as a meteorologist, I've never learned to translate. Probably should have. Old John DeLucic was the one that took care of that for us back at the TV station. He could always do that really well. But yeah, our breeze, considering that this is an early spring day, I could get used to it here. Expecting things to stay kind of cloudy for a while. Hopefully clear up a little bit more. And those waves on the tides there, maybe a little higher than we bargained for on getting out into the water. But yeah, beautiful day. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Oh, and I just got my flip-flop all soaked, trying to clean it off as we get the sand off our feet there. Anyway, that's our Australian weather update. Maybe if I looked at some actual information, I could do a little better than that.
Well, Matt, we might lose you to go to Australia and do the weather. We can't have that. Australian live weather, maybe that's the next adventure.
They don't have enough tornadoes here.
Oh, man. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You keep saying early spring, and it's like, our early spring right now would probably be wall-to-wall at this point, so.
Oh, man. Isn't that the truth? Let me stop my timer there. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It probably would be. Oh, toilet, well, not toilet travel. Wait, I should have thought about this. Like, we keep checking the different, toilets on the rotation here.
Yeah.
They have some kind of specific, toilet here that none of them, like, it's just like it like throws all the water in from every side at the same time. It's like, I'm legitimately checking, and this is gonna sound stupid, but I'm legitimately checking every toilet. I'm like, okay, is this one? No, it's like the same one. So whatever it is, their version of American Standard, which is like Caraba, I don't know. It's all the same toilet, every single place. It's like at some point they realized they were wasting so much water because people from other countries are coming to see which way it went. But they're like, nope, we're just gonna make it not go any direction at all.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I've been watching all of those, and I get excited every single time, only for disappointment to follow.
Well, I think toilet number 4 is going to be the same, but we are on the lookout.
Keep our fingers crossed on it, and we'll look forward to the video.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, keep sending in the footage, and just thank you for taking us along the journey with you, and getting to get those insights into Australia has been such a fun time. But we are excited for whenever you are ready to come back. So keep enjoying it.
Well, I'm ready to come back, being a relative term, but yeah, excited to sleep in my own bed here pretty soon.
Well, only a couple more days, so enjoy it, and we will see you here shortly, and we'll see you on a couple of videos here coming up tonight at 10. So folks can stay tuned for that and be
Absolutely.
excited for that.
I'll ship you one from a pretty similar location, I think, for 10.
Sweet. Well, there you go. So folks have something to look forward to for 10 o'clock. Matt, you enjoy your trip, enjoy good food, because my stomach's rumbling behind the scenes just hearing you talk about it. So we'll go get some fast food here in America. That's our specialty.
Hold on. I got to tell you what it was. I got to tell you, it was a tiramisu waffle with ice cream on top and like caramel in between, and then this chocolate around the sides. It was.
Hey, it's bulk season right now for a reason. Those tiramisu waffles, bring them on.
Bulk season, yeah. I'm. There's no question. I'm bulking up.
Oh man. Well, enjoy it. Enjoy some good food, and excited to see what you have for us tonight at 10. But it was good talking with you, getting to catch up.
Absolutely. Okay. We'll talk to y'all later from Mooloolaba Beach here in Australia. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Waupon. I can't even do a title at this point. Mississippi Live Weather.
There you go. Matt, we'll see you very soon. Thank you again. And bringing it back here to the Room to Room Weather Center, we do have a fantastic forecast for the next couple of days. No clouds in sight here. Matt seems to take all the clouds down there to Australia. But coming up here in just a bit, ironic that he was on the beach, because we are going to be tracking the tropics in a little bit more detail. The latest on Melissa, our recent tropical development. Where is that headed? Well, find out here in just a couple of minutes.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.
Well, back here in the Room to Room Weather Center, oh my word, Matt's stumble got me stumbling now. Oh my word. Okay, welcome back here to the Room to Room Weather Center. We are continuing to track the tropics, and for this week, it is Melissa out there off the South American coast, just northeast of Panama, and continuing to remain right where it wants to be, and that's in that Caribbean coast region. As we watch the tropics right here, you can see that Melissa is currently that tropical storm, but as we get into that 4 o'clock advisory, 35-mile-an-hour winds, 1,006 millibar pressure level. This is not an overly impressive storm, but it does have the potential to become one here over the next couple of days. I don't know why it says Lorenzo at the top. Fun times. Actually, that's exactly what this is. Hold up, this is not 35 miles an hour. Bear with me behind the scenes. I think I can figure this out here real quick. Apologies for this. I should have had this figured out. I did not care to look at the top of the title. Okay. Lorenzo goes bye-bye, and we have Tropical Storm Melissa. There we go. We are back on track. Let me go ahead and get this in play again. So there we go. Tropical Storm Melissa continuing to develop over there on the northern extent of the South American coast. As we look at that advisory, this looks much more like what we should be seeing. 50-mile-an-hour winds, 1,003 millibar pressure level, and that is continuing to work ever so slowly. Emphasis on slowly, bold and underline that, in the Caribbean as we speak. You can see Wednesday afternoon, 60 miles an hour, and only about, 10, 15 miles from where it currently is. That, of course, trying to take a northern route by then. And look at how thin these lines are to give you perspective on this path. I mean, very minimal movement, but in a very warm climate down there in the Gulf and the Caribbean, you can see that it does have the potential to increase in strength. 70 miles an hour by Friday afternoon, 75 miles an hour by Saturday afternoon. That would put it at Category 1 strength. Or Category 1 hurricane strength there. I mean, just this is hilarious, this track. You can see how it starts thin right here, and by the end, that cone of uncertainty starts to widen, so it looks like it's just inflating a balloon at this point. No, not a balloon. This is an entire track. If we zoom this in, because this is just an absolute meme, look at how thin that is. And these are each like morning and night time frame. So not exactly a fast mover whatsoever, but I did do a long range track to kind of give you perspective on the movement of this system as it moves on through. So let's go back here down south, and this is going to be down there on the northern coast of South America. We take those out just a bit, and you can see a lot of those still remaining in the same general area. So that's why our cone of uncertainty keeps it right here in the Caribbean area. Some of those models have it moving up there towards the northwest. Some of those models are a little bit ambitious, but we usually go with the what's what I'm looking for? Consistent returns where they're showing the same general path. And we have a lot of those right here in all of our model runs. So this is where we believe that path to remain, just south of the Cuban area, and same thing for the Dominican Republic. But we do have this one track that wants to take it on the perfect path is what we'll call it, but perfect path meaning that it gets to absorb all of that heat, all of that moisture, and in a low shear environment and be primed and enter all the way into the Gulf of Mexico. Not expecting that to happen. No, we do expect this to really remain in place. Those squiggles or those spaghetti plots still remaining right there south of the Dominican Republic area, and of course that's where it'll kind of stall out itself. Some of it has it carrying out there towards the Atlantic, but that path behind me, I mean, you can get a decent idea on where that's taking it. Of course, right between the peninsulas, or islands and peninsula. So trying to scare us, but in the grand scheme of things, this is not going to be something that is overly concerning. This is going to be one that remains south of us before it basically dissolves on out or moves out there towards the north and east. So what we're getting right now, and I do see a few folks there in the chat saying hey to Matt, so I'll be sure to let him know that behind the scenes, and he'll, of course, look at that as well. Stay tuned for all of his coverage. We'll have latest updates coming up tonight at 10 p.m. from him and his experience down there in the wonders of Australia, and just excited for another part of his journey being told to us. But our forecast tonight, it is clear, it is cool, it is a fantastic forecast. But we do have a meteor shower peaking this evening, peaked last night, and it'll continue this evening and into tomorrow evening as well. We'll have a latest look at what those viewing conditions look like. and when the best time frame is to go view that as well. So stay tuned for Mississippi Live weather at 10 p.m. as we walk through that forecast. We also have the latest on those rain chances this weekend and getting a better idea on when and who will be affected. So, of course, you can keep up with all of that weather using the Mississippi Live weather app. Has the latest forecast, whether it be hourly or each day. We'll keep you posted on what you need to know in that extended forecast. I mentioned our next broadcast at 10 p.m. That's where you can tune in and learn about the meteor shower or learn about those rain chances, both of which are pretty interesting topic and one of the utmost concern over the next few days. But we also do have our live shows early in the morning with meteorologist Maggie McCauley at 6:37 and 7:30. She was tracking showers this morning. Tomorrow, she's tracking cooler temperatures. And that's what you guys need to know heading out the door. She'll have the latest for you right here on the Mississippi Live weather app. We thank you guys for joining us. We thank you guys for just keeping us a part of your Tuesday. And we will see you back here tonight at 10. Until then, have a fantastic evening.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
More